All right, everybody, I'd like to open with a quick prayer. If you're not a person that prays, that's okay. Just if you don't mind, have a moment of silence, please. Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for creation and for bringing all of these men and women together safely. Thank you for getting us on and off the water today, in spite of a few things. Just ask that you be with our hearts, our integrity. Help us put away uncleanness, Lord, we need to move from. And we thank you for our country, this nation, organizations that we're a part of. Just ask that you bless us all with honesty and safety and help us do what it takes to glorify you so that people see the good that's there. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, everybody, I'm Steve Owens, Kayak Tournament Director with the Yamaha Right Waters Bassmaster Kayak Series. We're coming to you from Scottsboro, Alabama. Got a lot of people to thank for helping us get this put on. The Mountain Lakes Chamber of Commerce and the Well at Scottsboro for hosting us this evening for our registration. Registration is still going on. The board checks. We're over 230 out of the 235 who've registered, so we still have a very, very strong field. We're powered by Tourney X. We ask that everybody log out and log back in so that you can make certain tomorrow you're able to handle everything that you need. I want to remind you to use the check-in and check-out option so that you get your Dakota Lithium Angler of the Year points. This year, the winner will come home with $5,000 at the end of the season. That'll come from your best 3 events. Trust that everybody's enjoyed Scottsboro, everything that it's got to offer. Scottsboro is not only a fishing destination. We come down here quite a bit just to frequent the restaurants and the eateries. The outdoor life out here offers a lot. You can bring your family, friends. You can have, there's places down here for wedding venues and whole 9 yards. Really, really thankful to be down here. We come down here quite a bit with our grassroots stuff, and we're very grateful for the Mountain Lake Chamber of Commerce for that. Just honestly, we couldn't imagine where we're at today. 235 registered anglers is something spectacular. You all are the ones that made it happen. We appreciate you getting behind us during the restructure that we've made. The payout's going to be significant. We'll have that adjusted once we land on our final number. We're looking forward to just giving all of you an opportunity to fish. We can help highlight you and your career. Many of you, are pushing forward to do this for a living. All of you have sponsors. Many of you have paid sponsors. This just gives you another platform to help highlight what they do for you, to help us grow the kayak community and get the kayaking out there to more than just ourselves. That's something that Bassmaster is committed to through our social media. The Bassmaster website kayak section has a wonderful resource page. We've got all your Google Map launches, your waivers that you need and everything like that, tournament info sheets. And then from there, feel free to go ahead and check out these destinations we're going to, because, we're lake-wide launches, so even though we're hosted out of a certain community, you get to access the entire body of water. It's pretty unique, for kayaking because we are lake-wide like that. And so go ahead and feel free to look ahead, and as you go before the pre-fishing deadlines, go to these places and frequent the shops and let them know you're a kayaker. A lot of these communities really open the doors when they find out. They're interested in what we do. The catch photo release is, honestly the best way to catch fish, to score them, put the fish back in the water so that these habitats can grow, continue to be successful. If you have any questions in this tournament, immediately reach out to me. It's best to call, text, things like that sometimes don't go through. Above all else, if there's an emergency, forget about me, call 911 immediately. We've already talked to the different municipalities around here, and their emergency teams understand we have a lot of people. They went into action a few times today. Many of you went into action a few times today to help stranded anglers and people, and just a testament to the community that we have. And Bassmaster is proud and happy to be able to help broadcast that to the world. Just want to touch on what you're fishing for this year. You're fishing for the Bassmaster Kayak Championship, and this year that's held on Lake Chickamauga. We'll be fishing the Wednesday, Thursday of that week during the Classic. Friday, we'll have a final chance to have people crowned on the Bassmaster Classic stage. Last year we had Eric Siddiqui in South Carolina. Was fortunate enough to do that. We had Drew Gregory taking home the Angler of the Year with a phenomenal season. I believe, I'll misquote his points, but it was something ridiculous. I mean, his worst score was a 97 out of 100, or what would be 100. We go by 250 on the point system. So again, this year, your Angler of the Year will be your best 3. Dakota Lithium, you'll take home $5,000. To make that kayak championship, it'd be the top 5 from each event. This year, we're going to a 2-day tournament series, which is a phenomenal thing to do. So every event, we'll have 5 from each qualify for the championship. After that, we'll go down into the Dakota Lithium Angler of the Year standings to the top 50 that haven't qualified. So if you double qualify from an event, that spot kicks down to the AOY pool, goes deeper. You'll also have the Bass Nation Kayak Series in your respective state to qualify for that state championship. Some states have an open championship. Some states have a legitimate tournament series of 2, 3, 5, 7 events that qualify for a state championship. From there, the 10% of your total registered anglers for the year, you'll get places in that state championship to qualify as well. So that's how we arrived at around 130, 140 on Lake Chickamauga. You know, we're blessed to have anglers from all over the world. We have a team coming from Europe, and we have a team coming from Italy. So just a testament to the name and the credibility that comes with Bassmaster. When we're done here on Lake Guntersville, you know, we'll take a quick pause and we'll pick back up on Lake Hartwell in Anderson, South Carolina on April 15th, 16th. That registration is open as well as all the other events. The Lake Chickamauga Championship is open for registration as well. I've been trying to get those emails sent out to everyone. If you have any questions, reach out to me and we'll get that taken care of. After that, we'll take a decent break to hit the holidays, Mother's Day and everything. It's a very special time for all of us. We'll pick back up in June on Possum Kingdom, return there where Mark Pendergraft took home the Bassmaster Championship there with a record-breaking event. And then July the 8th and 9th, we return up north to La Crosse, Wisconsin on the Mississippi River, fish there, pools 8, 7, 8, 9. And then we'll close our season out on the famed Susquehanna River in October. It's going to be a time of year there where if you can get up and do some pre-fishing just to visit the area, it's a place that is just majestic and unheard of in everything that it offers. So I've spoken, recently on social media especially, the growing pains through, growing a series or even reformatting one, and you all have been very supportive of that personally to me, and I'm very grateful for it. I just really do want to thank, the people at the Bassmaster office. We've got GL, Hank, DJ, Chris, and Emily. That staff is phenomenal. It's been, a really, really huge blessing for me to be a part of that team, and their commitment's very visible to me. If that weren't the case, I wouldn't be there. So trust me when I tell you, we're working hard to provide everything that we can for you all, and we're grateful for the support that you give back to us. I've shared my feelings to all of you. A lot of you are my friends, but personally, I couldn't be where I'm at if it weren't for all of you. You all support everything that I do across the country and in every state. I've earned your respect, and I don't take that lightly, and I'm very thankful for you, because here I am getting to live a dream, essentially. So really appreciate that. For all you anglers here today, thank you for attending the meeting. We'll get into your official briefing. This will be streamed like we are now currently on the Bassmaster YouTube page, so you'll be required to watch that. We obviously sent all of you emails as we adjusted the times to get us in good kayaking launch time. Those were adjusted half an hour early. All of that's on the back of your tournament identifier card, and that is your day one identifier, as well as your day two. There's a space in there for you to write a unique code that I'll send out to you Saturday evening around 7 p.m. So be mindful of those times. I'll go over those in a moment. With the unexpected size field that we have, the original location at the Goose Pond Clubhouse is not going to be substantial enough. So we've moved that area, and you'll get that address on your identifier card as well. It literally is on the opposite side of the little road inside Goose Pond Colony, probably 200-300 yards on the right. It's the biggest parking lot in there other than the boat ramp. So just be there 4 o'clock on Sunday. Everywhere we go in an event, we try to partner with a grassroots club because grassroots is where we all come from at some point. And those are important to have a good foundation to have any sort of kayak series. We have grassroots. We're establishing Bass Nations, growing across the country in a record rate, and it's really good to have the support of those presidents there. And then from there, we graduate up to the Bassmaster series. So when we go to an area, we try to work with those grassroots clubs. Most of those are all typically a one-day event. This weekend on Saturday, we have the North Alabama Kayak Anglers and the Tennessee Valley Kayak Anglers have a registration that's still open. That's a $40 entry fee, a one-day tournament. Now, that check-in is mandatory, and that's at the Victory Sportsman at Goose Pond. It's bait and tackle restaurant right there at the main ramp. You'll need to check that Tourney X information for that check-in time. I believe it's 3:30, so you'll need to be there signed in by then. Launch times for this event here are all on Central Standard Time, so make certain that you check your watches, your clocks at home, your microwaves, your phones, and your fish finder. Your fish finder will betray you depending on where you come, because they will switch back to Eastern or even Pacific time when you don't expect it. So launch time for this event will be 5:30 in the morning. Lines in is at 6 a.m. Lines out is at 2 p.m. You have that 59 seconds of the 2 p.m. to get your fish picture captured. Fish submission time, you have an hour until 3 p.m. And again, check in the morning time on the Tourney X app. Check out when you make it safely back to your vehicle. On Sunday, the times are identical. 5:30 a.m. launch, 6 a.m. lines in, 2 p.m. lines out, last fish capture, and 3 p.m. upload time. Check in and out on the app, and you need to be at the Civic Center in Scottsboro by 4 p.m. Pretty loose time. We like for you to be there as soon as possible so that we can get the awards going and all of you can get back home. We'd be really grateful for as many as possible can make it to the awards so that we can celebrate what we do. You know, we're all cliche-ishly a family. You know, we have a very close-knit community. And although the travel time home can be lengthy for a lot of you, we do appreciate it when we get to see all of you looking back at us when we hand out, you know, this amazing payout and these catch trophies that you see right here and the checks. So, and those, the check in and out is required for you to get your Angler of the Year points, so don't forget that. Again, I mentioned earlier briefly your identifier cards. You have those. You have your own unique number on it. The card itself is your day one identifier. It must be in your picture. There's a box on there for the day two identifier that I'll send to you at 7 p.m., as I said, on Saturday evening, and you've been provided with a blank backup identifier card as well. So if something happens to your first one, you contact me. I will give you a unique identifier code of your own, and you write that on that card as well. That's a replacement, so you don't have to leave and come back and get them. Launching in safe light hours. If you have a motor, you've got to adhere to the Coast Guard rules, which is a white 360 light and a green and red navigation light. If you don't have those and you have a motor, you can still launch. You just have to keep your motor stowed away. And then when it's safe light, you're able to power with your motor. If you don't have a white light to launch, you can't launch. You just have to wait until daylight, and that's not a problem. If you have a question of that time, you're worried about getting disqualified, just reach out to me and I'll say you can launch. PFD must be worn at all time. Once day one ends, you can't return back to the water for anything. You can't cast a line to fix a bird nest or anything like that. You need to stay away. The communication rules, we've got some new rules, trying to unify them with the other national kayak trails. And in that, there's some confusion that comes with it, but we'll make it through it. The main one that's got the most attention is we do have standardized launches on all of our lakes now, most all of them. River chain systems, most likely will be a radius kind of launch still, as we've done in the past. But for this one here, you have the Google link that has all your launches. There should be no question about where you're launching. It is there for you to find very easily. If you can't find it again, reach out to me. I'll get that sent to you. Communication on the water, you know, don't have group text, you know, Facebook chat rooms and this, that, and the other that are talking about, you know, I'm catching them on a purple lizard or whatever. That's not, you know, it's not something that could be allowed. But you are able to message one another and say good luck, you know, or hey, you know, how are you? Do a wellness check, things like that. If you're ride sharing with someone and you decide you're ready to move from that ramp and you're going to come back and pick them up later, give them a call and let them know. Those things are common courtesies between anglers. The spirit of this rule is to just make sure that we tighten up some gray areas, and it's not, you know, anything to really get overly concerned about as long as we all do our jobs and fish our own fish and things like that. On the water, if you're passing one another, you can communicate. You know, hey, how's your day going? I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty well. You know, if you don't have your fish uploaded, then, you know, you're not going to say, you know, what you're doing because that's not publicly known information. Every bit of information that we gather has to be available to the public. We're a social media driven sport. We appreciate if you go live, if you submit your pictures, then put them on your Facebook post that your family and friends can see them. Your sponsors love seeing things like that. They get to share it. So when you're in an area with another person, don't be afraid to talk about your day. If you're needing to give them a for instance of where you're fishing so that they don't get back on it because you're letting it reset, communicate that. Say, I'm fishing that row of stumps. I'm going back over there in about 20, 30 minutes. Would you mind leaving it alone? You're not going to get disqualified for that. So this is the 5-fish limit tournament. Notice the new Bassmaster graphic. We went through a lot of growth in kayak fishing when it comes to hand placement on fish. This new graphic, I think, is, in my opinion, the way to go. So look it up on the Bassmaster rules. The eye of the fish can't be covered or obstructed. The tip of the tail needs to be uncovered and unobstructed. You're allowed to pinch the tail, place it, get maximum length on your catch board of that fish, take your picture, and get it uploaded. If you happen to have a fish that's, has a deformed eye or blind or some sense of that, or you just catch a scuzzy fish that looks dead, get your picture so that you can get it uploaded, put the fish back in the net, get everything squared away, take a video of that fish swimming away, get it to me, call me and say, hey, I've got a video of this fish. I won't accept the fish until we make it to check-in. You show me the video if you don't have service, and then we'll get that fish submitted for its accuracy. Hand under the gill plate should be about the only thing you're ever going to need to worry about again as far as, fish submissions go. The spirit of the hand placement rule is for your finger to stay out of that gill area so that it doesn't harm that fish's breathing mechanism. A little bit of a pinky, the fat of your hand, your sun glove or your sleeve coming in contact under that gill plate just a little bit, that's not a disqualification. Every rules infraction is not a disqualification. There are penalties that we can hand out instead of just absolutely, obliterating your fishing time. So that's about all we really need to go over when it comes to the rules. Those rules are posted. It's your job and obligation to read those and understand them. If you have any questions, call me. I'm always available. This YouTube video will be shared through your email, so you can pull that up and look. So in closing, everyone be safe. Watch out for one another. Communicate with one another. Communicate with me. And again, we want to thank the Yamaha Right Waters program, Motor Guide, and Dakota Lithium this year. Again, hats off to the people at Bassmaster and the support that they've extended. We look forward to seeing you all the rest of the year, and just give us a shout if there's anything that you need. Bless you all, and take care.